Steve, after Game 6, Klay Thompson said if you guys don't win this championship, the season would be a failure, and the failure is his word. Do you feel that way?
Yeah, but you guys suckered him into that question.
I didn't. I was very
Somebody
quiet.
did.
Okay,
Somebody
I'll
did.
get him.
Yeah. I don't look at, first of all, I think it's a, I don't want to insult anybody. I think it's an unfair question, and I never look at sports that way, and I think it's insane, with all due respect to Klay. Of course, it's insane to actually say that. Like, really? Come on.
A follow-up would be,
Yeah.
do you feel, again, I don't mean to be negative, but there's a lot at stake in this game if you take these things seriously. Do you think that any reputations are at stake? Yours, number 30, the franchises, things like that?
Sure. Reputations from the critics, and that's all part of this machine that the NBA is, and that's why we all make a lot of money. That's why it doesn't bother me. So everybody's reputation is at stake in terms of, legacy or whatever, and what people write, and but in terms of the people that matter, your family members, your friends, your teammates, people in the organization, nobody's reputation is at stake. We're trying to win a game, and it doesn't change anything about anybody on either team, win or lose. It changes the narrative from the media, and that's the deal. That's the deal that we accept when we sign up for this stuff.
Monty?
Monty Poole, CSN Bay Area. Steve, can you give us an idea of what the agenda was for Andre today and his status for tomorrow's Game 7?
Yeah, we had a film session and a walkthrough, and then once we were finished with our walkthrough, he went and got treatment, and we had a light practice that he did not take part in. He got treatment instead, and he should be good to go tomorrow. He's feeling pretty well. Hopefully another 24 hours, and he'll be even better.
Rusty in the back.
Coach, I was going to ask about Iguodala too. Any kind of minutes limits or anything on him for tomorrow's game?
Not as of now, but we'll see how he's feeling tomorrow. But it's Game 7, and he's Andre Iguodala, so we know he'll be out there.
Scott in the middle.
Scott Hart-Cooper from NBA.com. You guys have been in control literally since day one of the regular season. You've had a great hand on your own destiny. I'm curious if you've noticed any difference in the mood of your team at all since in the last couple days, since the end of Game 6 on the ride home when you've been gathered today. Do you notice any change in their approach and their attitude? Well,
we're human, so when you go from up 3-1 to 3-3, it's disappointing. But you get a couple of days, you kind of take stock, you think about where we are. We like our positioning, we like our chances, and we're at home, the chance to win the championship. Can't ask for much more than that, and our guys are recharged already today, and probably even more so tomorrow. We'll be ready to roll.
Any signs of feeling the pressure at all of a Game 7?
If you don't feel pressure in a Game 7, you're probably not human. I told our guys that. Of course they're going to feel pressure. Of course there's going to be some anxiety. But how lucky are we to feel that pressure? You can play on a lottery team your whole career and just make a bunch of money and go watch playoffs every year. That sounds great.
Tim, go ahead.
Tim Cavalcante, Mercury News. You said for the last game you told the players no heroics necessary, and yet you've also pointed out that Steph Curry was unanimous MVP. This is the life he leads. How much of a hero, or is this semantics to say, Steph Curry, this is on you?
Oh, no. I mean, he's a great player, and we need him to play well. But you can't say it's on you to anybody. It's a team game. We rely on a lot of people. So, it'd be nice if everybody played well. But we've won games so many different ways this year, just as Cleveland has. Lots of different people stepping up and making shots and making plays. And if you look at the history of this league, it's littered with Game 7s that were won with unlikely shots by, unlikely heroes, that kind of thing. And the main thing is take care of the details. Play hard, enjoy it, but let's not give up the easy stuff. Let's not get beat backdoor. Let's box out. Let's, get our transition defense in order. You take care of all that stuff, and then it's a roll of the dice. Shots go in, shots don't.
Do you tell the story about the time Michael Jordan told another player that he better be open, make the shot if he gets double teamed?
That would sound incredibly conceited, and I will not tell that story. But thanks for trying.
Tom, back right.
Tom Haverster, ESPN. Steve, how would you characterize Steph Curry's overall play in this series? And secondly, are you satisfied with the looks that he's getting? He seems to be missing a lot of open threes and missing layups more than usual. Do you have to calm down about that and not overthink things?
Yeah. This is, I think my playing experience, the best thing about my playing experience that I can relate to our team is this is the playoffs and this is the finals in particular. This is how it works. So you are going to be under the microscope, especially if you're the MVP. So every move you make is going to be assessed. And I am going to be asked to assess your every move. It's fair. This is what we all signed up for. This is why we all make a lot of money. This is where we earn our money. We could break down every game. We could break down every play, but we're not going to do that. You guys can do that. That's your jobs. But we're going to focus on what we can focus on, and I'm confident we're going to play well. And I know Steph's ability and character, and I know everything about who he is. He just has to be himself.
Over here on the left.
Carl Stewart, Barry Newsgroup. It seems like Cleveland is trying to take advantage of your defensive switching to create mismatches, and you had a lot of situations where LeBron has actually been matched against Steph. Do you have to alter any? Do you have to adjust and maybe stay at home more defensively the way they have been exploiting you with their your switching?
It's a good question. It's a difficult one to answer because there are so many different circumstances on the floor. It kind of depends on who else is on the floor. In terms of their lineup. So we have certain schemes where we will switch, others where we'll go under, others where we'll stay at home. So there's a lot of different scenarios, but this is something that both teams are doing constantly, trying to find matchups that make sense and trying to create advantages. It's all part of the game.
Do you think that they're trying to make Steph work extra hard on the defensive end?
Oh, sure. And that's something that most teams try to do. It makes perfect sense. Guy's that good of a shooter and that good of a player. You make him work hard at the defensive end to try to wear him down.
Jeff on the right.
Steve, Jeff Zilgett, USA Today. In regard to the earlier questions about reputations and what this means if you win or lose, what shaped your philosophy to get to that point where it's not the end of the world?
I think just, my playing career started in '88, and I've been part of the league ever since. I've really seen kind of the machine grow, in terms of the daily scrutiny. It used to be, early in my career, it's like, just don't pick up the morning paper and you can avoid all that stuff. And now it's pretty hard, to avoid the scrutiny and the criticism. Don't have a cell phone, I don't think that works anymore, but I just think that over the course of my time in the NBA, I've seen it. I've seen the critiquing. I've seen, as a Laker fan, I remember when Magic Johnson was referred to as Tragic Johnson because he had a bad playoff run. Really? I mean, it's Magic Johnson, for God's sake. The point is everybody's going to have some, great games, some great series, some bad ones. People are going to judge it and critique it, and it's all fair, again, because this is why we're making a lot of money. This is the trade-off. But for the people who matter, family members, teammates, coaches, you think I'm going to think anything less of Steph Curry tomorrow if he doesn't play a great game or if we lose? Of course not. But all the other stuff we have to embrace. Maybe not embrace, but accept, because It's part of the deal, and it's a hell of a deal. We have good lives.
Michael, last question in the back before Clay.
Steve, Michael Grange from Sportsnet. Just a little bit on that theme. I mean, you look at what's occurred in the last, I don't know, 36 hours since, I've lost track of time, frankly, since Game 6. And, you know, a lot of scrutiny for Steph. Even Aisha kind of gets pulled into it. And so it looks kind of chaotic from a step removed or two, whatever we are. What's it like inside that? Are you even conscious or aware of sort of what's swirling around, or do you have to work hard to not be aware of it? What's the tactic?
Yeah, I mean, especially now I'm going to sound like the old guy, but you know, especially the generation coming up, they're used to looking at their phones all the time and Twitter and everything else, and it's really hard to avoid all that stuff. So it's more about managing it and how you manage it and how you go through your day. And it helps when you've got guys who are grounded and who understand that there's a lot more to life than what somebody writes about your reputation and your legacy and all that stuff. If you just kind of remind yourself, we get to play basketball for a living. We get paid a lot. We have fun. There's some heartbreak. There's some joy. And everything in between. Again, pretty good deal. We're among the luckiest people on earth. Win or lose Game 7, nothing changes there other than what some people write. And a big part of being a prominent athlete these days is being able to shrug your shoulders and say, oh, well, somebody I don't know wrote something bad about me. It's not the end of the world.
Do you check in with Steph between, again, in the last 36 hours, whatever, just as things do kind of rev up?
We just tweet back and forth to each other.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thanks.